Hey, what is up guys? John here at Tekmogo. Welcome to the channel. Today, I've got something different. But it's kind of the same. When the Motorola Edge 2022 released, it had an MSRP of $599 and it was competing with the likes of the Pixel 7, the Samsung Galaxy A53, the OnePlus 10 Pro, and the Apple iPhone SE. The Edge had its work cut out for it to compete with those brands. Now the Motorola Edge 2022 is no slouch. It's sporting features like 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. It's got a 6.6-inch OLED display with 144 Hz refresh rates. None of the other competitors has a 144 Hz refresh rate. Now fast forward a year later, the Edge is coming in at $249 unlocked. Alright guys, so before we open it up, let's take a look at the box. So it comes in this tan box. We've got Ready For compatible, meaning Ready For is where you can like cast onto another screen, like a tablet, a laptop, another computer, or your TV, and it's going to mirror whatever's on the phone. This is 5G compatible. We've got the Motorola branding with Edge on the side here, front and center. Got eco-friendly packaging. All right, so let's open this up and see what we get inside. So right out the gate, you've got your phone. Take a look at that later. And we've got some documentation. Meet your Edge, like a quick startup guide, and some legal and safety information. And we've got our SIM ejector tool. Pretty standard. Put that off to the side. And then you get your charging cable. I'm assuming this is a USB-C. Unfortunately, there is no charging brick, so that's a bummer. But that's pretty standard these days. All right, so here is the phone. It is coming in a, they say it's gray and it's only one colorway, but it does have like a bluish tint to it. Got your Motorola branding on the center there. Here is your camera system here. You've got a 50 megapixel main camera with OIS. So it's got image stabilization. Very cool. Very, very slim profile. On the bottom here, you've got your SIM port. You've got your USB-C port, and you've got some speakers. Unfortunately, you cannot expand the memory on this. This is just for the SIM card. And on the side here, you've got your power button and your volume rocker. And I've already turned it on. Again, this is a 6.6-inch OLED display, 144 Hz refresh rate. It is a very, very beautiful screen. It's got a fingerprint. So you see how quickly that was? Let me try that again. So here's the fingerprint. That was super fast. And let's try the face detect. Boom. There you go. Face detect. Again, very beautiful display. And it is super smooth. All right, let's start with the phone's camera system. Again, the main camera is a 50 megapixel with OIS. And then you've got a 13 megapixel ultra wide. That's also a macro vision lens. Get you the macro shots. And then you've got a 2 megapixel depth sensor for portraits, giving you that blurry background, which is very nice. And I won't go into too much of the camera. I'll save that for another video. But as far as the quality, it's fine. The front-facing camera is 32 megapixels, and it works fine for like your Zoom calls and things like that. Again, it is rocking 144 Hz refresh rate, which is crazy at this price point of $249. Everything is like buttery smooth. Very, very nice. And it's got a very, very thin bezel around it. It looks super sleek, guys. It's got a flat display, which I like more than the curved style. I feel like you get more real estate, screen real estate this way. And you got a little chin at the bottom and at the top, not too bad. But overall, it is very sleek looking. And again, it's super fast and fluid. And the screen is protected with Gorilla Glass 3. All right, speaking of media consumption and gaming, the Edge is rocking a MediaTek Dimensity 1050 processor, which has an Antutu score of right around or a little over 500,000, which puts it right in the middle. And it is good enough to play games like Genshin Impact, PUBG, and COD. Tried all those games out, and I had no problems with keeping it at the highest refresh rates and highest graphics settings. But if you want to compete in any of those, you always want to turn that stuff down to get you the most fluid and smooth gameplay. All right, and as far as battery life on the Edge, this is sporting a 5,000 milliamp battery. Motorola says that it should last 2 days, but with my experience with moderate use, I had the screen at 80% and I had it set to 144 refresh rate. In moderate settings, or moderate use, excuse me, it was lasting me about, it lasted a full day, no problem. I'd take it off the charger at 6 a.m. and by the time I'd go to bed at like midnight, I'd have about like 30%. Now, when I was using it heavily, gaming, YouTube, like 5-6 hours of screen time, it would last about 12 hours. So unplugged at 6. By the time it was like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., it was time to charge up. But overall, I think that battery life is fine. And what's cool is that it sports fast charging, 30-watt fast charging. So it can go from 0 to 100% in right about an hour. And it also has wireless charging at 15 watts. And it also has reverse charging where you can, say, charge up your earbuds. If you need to top those off, you can do that with this phone. Now, with all the good that this phone has, there is some bads, like the software. So Motorola says this has 3 years of OS support and 4 years of security. But that remains to be seen. We are a year in and it's still running on the factory Android 12 that it came with from the factory. So that's a little bummer, but hopefully maybe the end of this year or the first part of next year we'll get Android 13 on this beast, because it's an awesome phone. And the main concern, or probably the main weakness of this phone, I would have to say, is the build quality. Again, it is a plastic design and it is only IPX52 dust and water resistant. So there's no waterproofing in this. So you got to be super careful with it if you're going to take it out and about, because if you drop this in a puddle, say goodbye. That's it for this. All in all though, guys, looking past the build quality and the weak software support, this phone is packing a lot of features, and at $249, I think it's a good buy. So guys, if you're looking for a do-it-all phone that won't break the bank, definitely check this one out. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel and smash that like button, because it really does help out the channel. And while you're at it, hit that notification icon so you're notified anytime I post a new video. As always, I'm John at Tekmogo. I'll see you in the next one.